Laura. Stands for Bob Breck.
All right, welcome everyone to our December 17th pre-meeting.
On some of that.
Oh, you're good. Let's get started. But yeah, a little bit about that, okay, old business, Harvard Farms. What's going on?
Yeah, so Laura and I met with Harvest Farms recently to go over some of their problems they're having, so we can determine how we're going to allocate those funds. We had a outstanding bill of $17,689 or $17,689, $4,700 for grading permits and inspection, and then $12,900 to change for winter maintenance service. And so council needs to determine how we're going to split up the $45,500. What we're going to retain for our outstanding fees, and then what we're going to hand over to the HOA. Additionally, they had asked about stormwater easements and maintenance. We had deeds of dedication for the roadways and the right-of-ways, but we have none for detention basins or stormwater systems. And so the HOA wants confirmation if we're going to take those over like we have in the past, and then we need to start working through that process. There's a lot of oddities that Max and I look at on how to do that.
Briefly, you said the total was how much for the
$17,689.36.
okay, that looks like it's different from what was in the November packet. And this may be just what it looks like. This is a invoice sent to Scarlett Bednar on page. Well, the total, this is $12,935.
That's for winter maintenance handling.
Gotcha.
That's not including the grading permits and inspections.
Okay.
We went through this. We haven't really spent a lot of time on this. It's been over a year, I think.
And we've like kind of lightly discussed it since the court case is kind of ending, but haven't really made a full decision on how we're going to proceed.
We have not recorded the deed of dedication for the roads yet because Sean had flagged some issues with the legal description. We sent it back months ago or so. We got back other ones, at least the initial review. There's still some problems with it. So we have not recorded that just yet. And the, big picture, the issue with the two detention facilities, although they are dedicated, for public use, if the access road goes through a private property, doesn't have an easement going over it, sort of like just start. So we need to figure out how to get down there, and the access road wasn't dedicated to the road. So it is on a parcel, or both parcels, that are owned in fee by the homeowners association because the developer in control of the homeowners association conveyed them the two parcels in one deed to the HOA. So it's their property with a dedicated drainage easement, but not access.
Is that a non-compliant?
There's a whole of it. There's litigation, yes. So the resolution of that was that they would go through the deed of dedication process for the streets, because we weren't going through our typical process of an ordinance and a maintenance agreement, things of that nature. So, and part of that, the 45,000 that we had seized as part of it, they allowed us to use for our needs, but we had claims for unpaid fees going along. And Gary's not here, so the infrastructure never got that sort of final, once over that we have in other plans where cracks are sealed and chips are repaired, things like that because of litigation.
I'm sort of in a precarious situation here because I live in Hartman Farms and was on the HOA while all of this was happening and conveyed a lot of this information to the borough that was not compliant with the plans or the ordinances. But having said that, obviously I'm going to advocate that I think the money should go back to the HOA for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's not really fair that they get left holding the bag for a lot of the stuff that the developer did not do, including the sidewalks, which we've talked about. Well, I've talked about extensively. I don't know if you all have. They were poorly constructed to begin with. The borough was aware of that. I made the borough aware of that. There were some trees that were supposed to be planted. There was fencing that was supposed to be put in that never got done. And those things are gonna be very expensive for the HOA, and they will be left holding the bag basically. And they still will, I mean, that's, even if the entire amount went to the HOA, that would not fix everything that should have been fixed in the first place. Of course, the flip side of that is, in my position on council, I realized that those fees were due to the borough, and that was work that the borough provided to the neighborhood or to the streets that the developer should have done. So take that for what it's worth.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, that's a pretty easy split there. I'd say Borough takes 15 and gives the HOA 30. The HOA, they still have the option of suing, start betting on with that.
Yeah, I mean, in terms, they were not named parties, not part of the release, part of the settlement, or anything else like that. I don't know, statute of limitations proposed where things are on that. I think I would say, just in terms of those costs that we're talking about, it wasn't like they hired a third party to do snow and ice removal. That was Public Works, just doing it on essentially a dedicated, but at that time, private street. So it's not like we have bills for that, but we did have review time that are typically part of an escrow, part of the payment that the developers have. That's why it's professional. Smith, and even Senate, I think we had old bills for them, and
Probably a lot of those are Mike talking to me.
That was my thought as well, was, the snow removal, if it had been turned over, was supposed to, we would have been doing our candidates, right? But the grading permits and inspections, we're paying somebody outside of us.
So maybe just that.
The grading, and so that would be the pass-through cost that we would hold on to, so our taxpayers have made whole again. Question, do we have a subrogation right if they sue, the developer? Okay.
Not that I'm aware of or compelling.
Okay,
I can't imagine, not that that's really something the
Yeah.
borough's interested in, but I can't imagine the HOA would do that, knowing how litigious the developer is and
okay.
how things got dragged out.
The developer bankrupt, like, are they business?
We don't have to be, they can always just knock
No.
an LLC down,
Yeah.
nothing, and start over again, when you do development.
And that's the thing, and this is Scarlett Bednar LP, it was a leftover, limited partnership and LLC from the Upper St. Clair Bednar Farms development that went in there, so.
We just empty it out and then it's done.
Yeah.
So if you're providing the money back, if we're going to split, it's 15K for all the costs, or
No, I think it was 5 or something.
Yeah, 4,700, so.
I think that's fair.
okay, and then what about the stormwater easement?
That's still, I mean, for discussions, it's gonna require cooperation with the HOA. We have not been down to see it in some time. There is one that's a little more accessible from the road.
It looks like it's in decent shape. It's just coming down from you.
Yeah, it's right next to me.
And this is something where they sign it over, the easement over to us, and
Yeah, we've got the one area, the one private one.
we don't think people are gonna be asking for money, because if they're asking for money, we probably should give them money and.
Yeah.
And then be asked for more, right? So,
From my conversation with the HOA, they want to give it up, right?
okay. Should we maybe put that cart before we run the horse out there?
I say tie it all together.
I think everything.
Anyone
that's
in
good.
there active? Okay,
That includes access,
okay, I mean, I'm good with that, unless somebody's got a real objection.
that includes access, to it, right?
Yeah,
Right, so.
The question is who's maintaining the road, right? Because we don't know the quality of which that access road is put in, and, over the longevity of this, it's the HOA's property, and now we're taking, ownership or maintenance of that access road, in theory, something. So,
what about a joint maintenance agreement? Is that something that's done?
And you see those are private road,
Yeah.
ones, it's a little future for the borough, because sort of once the borough touches it and starts maintaining.
It's their
it,
problem anyway.
private or public.
Does the borough need to actually? The access is like very intermittent, right? It's like once every like 15 years.
You mean go back and clean it up if they have to get in?
It is a stormwater project on 15 years.
No, we cut the grass and then.
Right, have to clean out the side of the.
Oh, we did. Okay.
Mhm.
Is it, what is asphalt, is chips?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
The
think.
one down to the two at the bottom is. Has asphalt at some, at some depth.
Yeah,
Um,
turning into gravel.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, parts of it has asphalt, parts of it are gravel. I think most of it has gravel all the way down. Some of it's grown over, but not so much that it's not.
Here's your estimation, like having to redo the road.
Not
They should
part
be
of the
taking a
HOA.
risk. Just because you don't know, like we didn't hold them to a standard and put it in.
It was built as an access road, not like a typical street. And it does have a creek sort of running next to it. So it's a piece of
There's a retaining
our
wall.
issue.
What kind of, on and stuff.
Lots of problems. That was one of the issues.
Cleared over the years, the trees, because there's been multiple trees fall down in there. And you walk down and then it's gone, so.
I think that was the first issue was sent to cut either that road or just the other trees are clearing. All ended up in a creek.
There's a lot
And that was the issue.
Is it, you go straight and come in and it's up to that where it is?
It's to the right, directly across the street from my house is where the
Oh.
road cuts, well, it's not a road, but it's sort of a road, cuts in. And it goes down and you can't see it. You can't see those detention ponds from the road.
Once you back up to where the thirty.
Yeah.
It's gonna be.
That's the one next to me. Yeah, that one's easy to access.
Yeah, I remember I walked that end, but I
And it
never,
looks-
never saw it, I never went over and looked the other.
Yeah, there's two more that are pretty far down in there.
You were trying to wrap it up in a nice little.
Yeah, almost just on the memorandum of understanding.
Okay.
Here's what happened.
All right.
We've got this cash sitting, we are gonna, this time period, give them this, retain whatever the full final 4 or 5,000 for reimbursement of those fees. Resolve any types of disputes over those, and the improvements, recognizing it's gonna be public infrastructure first, and then somehow address the stormwater detention facility.
All right, well, good luck with that.
Yeah, I mean, it might be, that'll be one, but likely there'd be something to, access easement, maybe, I don't know, joint maintenance or so, but
Yeah.
something that allows us, that might involve the one property owner. Looks like the access road starts from the backyard.
Strange plan.
Yeah. I think it was one of the odd,
That property comes all the way back to Inglewood, even though their address is separate.
right. So, ask for cooperation, from the HOA to secure that from somebody who's not signing the agreement as an individual, but is never.
Yeah, I think that's a really good plan.
Sounds good. New business? Agenda.
Yes, add a couple of items, including additional announcement in the executive session that we held. And as you see, motion 15 has been added as a result of that executive session back on December 10th. But by and large, you have items we've talked about before with respect to sort of the annual setting of fees. So it's effective January 1st. Rather than January 5th for reorganization meetings. Got a cable franchise agreement that COG, Federal Law Group, had negotiated and did the public hearing for months and months ago. We've got the other items that are effective as of January 1st in terms of the table of organization. That nature, we do have hiring motions for 2 police officers that have been recommended by the Civil Service Commission. Of the vacancies requests. And other than that, pretty straightforward.
Mr. President, after the recognition, I would appreciate you give me just a minute to speak.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Remind me if I forget. Okay, any questions? Yeah, managers report.
Yeah, I don't have much to kind of go over. I'm just giving us an update. The fish run, sewer line that runs through there, we installed that, I think, 2012. We turned it over to this, sewage authority. Part of the agreement, we turned it over that we retain tap and fees. And so we received a check for $183,000, for, most of Deerfield. And so we put that money into a capital reserve to start filling that up, because it was unplanned money, so.
Anything else?
Good news.
Four today, well, sold everything to it.
Oh, was it? Okay,
Yeah.
well,
The reason I'm for it.
our numbers were off.
Well,
Yeah.
Who told that to the whole time?
And the
ESA.
The
Yeah, they had a lot of turnover at their end, and we had turnover at our end. We used to remind them every month to send us tap-in fees. So we lost that memory.
Institutional memory.
Is this for like Northmont Farms, or is this for Elwood, or is it, I mean, that goes fine through the valley between all of them. Well,
It's mainly Deerfield, but it also includes like Woodco.
oh, okay.
So there's a little bit.
Right,
of
So it does cross, it crosses under 79 then, well. I know the fish run stream goes under 79, I didn't know that the sewers also went up.
And what actually prompted it was, the previous developer for Scarlet Ridge had applied for tap-ins. And since they didn't build, they asked for a refund, and when MTSA was going through the process, they realized that been quite a while, so. You see, Ray Hoffman, thank him.
That's probably some good news.
Speaking of MTSA, the gentleman who spoke at the November meeting asking about payment for his dye test. Do you know anything about that?
I wasn't here for most of that.
Yeah, we know a lot, he still calls here every couple of months just to try to ask us to please pay him. We don't pay for dye tests, MTSA does. He did a dye test on a house that he wasn't asked to do a dye test on, it was a mistake on his part. But he's claiming that since he did the work, he wants payment, and MTSA won't pay him, so he keeps asking us for.
And he claims because it's our ordinance, we should be responsible, but not how it works.
Not for the close.
And he's been told he did
I was just gonna
dye
ask.
tests on the house.
He's
that
been
he was asked
told.
to do a dye test.
Did somebody send him to do the eye test?
No, he was asked to do a dye test on a house, but not that house.
Okay.
Did he get paid for the work that he was supposed to have done?
Yes.
And he did that? Okay.
I didn't. Doing it from
I'm sorry.
the outside, right?
It was new construction.
There's one.
It's actually in, Bliss.
Second.
Yep.
Okay. Broken council mayor, we'll do it first. Nothing.
I have to say something, right? I've been here for 16 years. Right now, I'll say more out there, but I just want to thank council for all your friendships. And I've had through many councils, so I've developed lots of friendships. So I'm very happy about that, but thank you for all the support you've given me through the years. And I'll miss sitting here. But we also have a good person coming to sit here. Just to wish you the very best. Yeah. So, that's all. Thank you.
Yeah, so that's, I don't have anything, but, take a session. Yeah.
Yeah.
Think of something.
Oh, I can give an update about, hopefully.
Yeah. We can do that in executive session.
We called in today.
All right, something to talk about.